Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Random News, and I want to welcome you to episode 3 of Random News Reports. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about the story of Jessica Lynch. We're going to uncover the controversy behind it and see how messed up the government lied to us. Now, for those of you who never heard of Jessica Lynch, she was a 19-year-old private who was ambushed and captured in the Iraqi war. She was later saved by U.S. forces. Now, since the image of war is created by the military and political powers, you knew that some type of fuckery was going to be happening with this story. See, television's job is to translate the lies of these people into mythology. Now let's see how the world was introduced to Jessica Lynch and how this whole story started.
With that, I'll take your questions. Tom.
Brooks, we noticed that you made no mention of the rescue of Jessica Lynch.
No one mentioned this top secret operation. How does he know about it to ask the question?
And the special operations that went on. We understand that there is video taken by a combat camera team.
How does he know about a video from a top secret operation?
Can you show us that video?
We did have the opportunity to have a combat camera crew with the assault force, and we'll show you only the portion that has the PFC Lynch being retrieved. Do we have the tape?
Conveniently, they did have the tape, and it was already queued up at the exact moment they wanted to show in the VCR. How convenient is that?
We were successful in that operation last night and did retrieve PFC Jessica Lynch, bringing her away from that location of danger.
Now, this video was produced and directed by the Army, and it's the only documented footage of her rescue. This was the basis of the story that will become a shit show over the next 7 months. This shit was crazy. On the same day, ABC posted this story.
Extraction, which means Army Rangers would secure the perimeter.
I mean, look at this clown shit. Check out the 3D animation they made of the quote-unquote operation that they said that they built from unknown sources. Sound familiar?
Military post that had been Lynch's uncomfortable home for 10 long days.
We've just arrived here at Saddam Hospital.
It was here she lay suffering from 2 broken legs, a broken arm, and multiple gunshot wounds, being treated not by a doctor, but by an Iraqi pharmacist.
2 broken legs, 2 broken arms, multiple gunshot wounds, and they never named their sources where they're giving you this information from.
The Pentagon says she is the first American prisoner of war to be rescued from hostile territory since World War II.
The headline in the Washington Post, she was fighting to the death. In it, Private First Class Lynch is portrayed as a kind of Rambo. The source, U.S. officials.
The source is from the military itself. That's where the story came from. And with a story like that, Jessica Lynch became a celebrity overnight. She was on all types of interviews and newspaper articles written about her. All the TV stations were competing just to get an interview with her. MTV offered her own show. And then her agent got her $1 million book deal. The craziest thing was they made a television movie about her. The name of the movie was called Saving Jessica Lynch. And with that, Jessica Lynch was now a full-fledged celebrity. But then, a month later, something messed up happened. The BBC went over to Iraq to investigate this for themselves. And the stuff they found out completely turned this whole story into the shit show that it was.
Private Lynch hadn't been shot in a firefight, as earlier reports suggested.
ABC, May 7th.
To have broken her leg when her truck overturned. An orthopedic surgeon who was due to set Private Lynch's broken leg the following morning says U.S. soldiers put a gun to his head as they burst into the operating room.
We start shouting, "We are doctors, don't shoot."
The hospital staff says there were no Iraqi troops on the premises when the Americans rushed in. They had all left the morning before the rescue. The soldiers broke down doors in the intensive care unit when they could have just asked where she was. Private Lynch has yet to give her own account of her captivity here or her rescue. She remains in seclusion at the Army's Walter Reed Hospital, reportedly suffering from amnesia.
See how stupid they think you are? Now they're telling you she's suffering from amnesia. Come on. June 17th, the Washington Post retracted their original story. But it didn't matter at this point. They already made movies about her and everything else, so the myth was stronger than the facts. On July 21st, she was decorated for bravery, and the people came out and showered her with all types of praises at this point. They even had a parade
He
for
is
her.
just 20 years old. But Jessica Lynch comes home with the experience of a long, painful journey.
I would like to say thank you to everyone who hoped and prayed for my safe return.
A month later, Jessica Lynch retired from the military. She went on a media tour and was pushing her book and everything. On November 9th, ABC aired the special Saving Jessica Lynch. They aired it with no commercials because they said it was that important of a movie. The reviews called it, "It's like Rambo, but real," if you if you find that funny. Around the same time, her book was released, and then she was on the cover of all the top magazines who ran with that same story that the military gave them from the start. Later on, Barbara Walters was the one that got the first interview with Jessica Lynch. And that's when this whole story unraveled.
So just to get this clear.
Yeah.
Did you fire your weapon back and did you kill any Iraqis?
No. My weapon did jam and I did not shoot.
That's right, people. It was all a lie. None of that shit ever happened. And Jessica Lynch was used as a pawn by the military to push their agenda. Check out what she said on the committee floor.
However, I'm still confused as to why they chose to lie and try to make me a legend when the real heroes of my fellow soldiers that day were legendary. People like Lori Piestewa and First Sergeant Dowdy, who picked up fellow soldiers in harm's way, or people like Patrick Miller or Sergeant Donald Walters, who actually did fight until the very end. The bottom line is the American people are capable of determining their own ideals for heroes, and they don't need to be told elaborate lies. The truth of war is not always easy. The truth is always more heroic than the hype. Thank you.
Now, as messed up as this story is, the sad fact of the matter, stories like this happen all the time. Stuff like this has been happening since the beginning, and governments from all over the world have been using propaganda against their own people to push their own agendas. Now, this should show you that you shouldn't believe everything that comes across your TV screen. And for a perfect example of the stories like this, you can look at a movie called Wag the Dog. It describes this type of bullshit perfectly. And that's where we're going to leave this one off. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, don't get fooled by nobody. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you wish to donate to the channel because you like the content, hit up that link in the description. Alright, peace.